Okay. Hey everyone, welcome. Tonight we'll be covering how to close correctly so that you'll get an 80% chance of your prospect saying yes versus no. So just like in the movie Avengers Infinity War, we have come together, Jax Henry from Australia, Sarah Espinosa from San Diego, California, and Jennifer Mendez from Orlando, Florida, and of course myself from Tamara Mastro from Norco, California. We're going to answer the questions that nobody is answering. And that is, why can't I get sales? I'm making conversations, I'm building rapport, I'm making friendships, and even sometimes I'm getting people to see my presentation, I'm getting my link sent out, but nobody's signing up. Well, if you are here and if you're tired of getting no or just nothing, crickets, like no response, which is worse, right? Well, then grab a pencil and paper and hang on, because we are going to lay it all down for you. What the secret skills are in sales, and how to get the prospect to close themselves, actually. And as promised, we have a special gift for you tonight. We have a PDF download for you, which is the 5 things that you should never say during a conversation with a prospect and why. So all these techniques that you'll learn tonight, they're not average. These are techniques that have come from the people like the sales teams of Grant Cardone in his top salespeople in his industry they can sell cars, to real estate, to online or offline marketing. These are all techniques that are not for the average people. These are skills for those who are tired of wasting time and are ready for a little bit more meat, not just fluff. No fluff zone here tonight. This is Facebook Marketers Closing War, and it's time to end this war and get victory. Financial freedom is just that close. So let me take a few moments here to introduce to you who we have on the panel tonight. First, we'll be starting off with, or not first, but starting with Jack Henry. She is a mom of 7 kids from Australia. She's been online for a few years now and has the passion to help other moms become financially free without having to sacrifice being home with her kids to raise them like she wants to, right? She's huge on mindset and motivation, and she's on the panel tonight because she is ready to help people get into freedom faster. She used to be shy of the camera and took a long time to do lives, but now she's doing interviews and lives, and now even webinars. She's got a hold of something deep inside, and now nobody can stop her message. Welcome, Jax, from Down Under Supermom. Next, we have Sarah Espinosa from San Diego, California. She's raising 7 kids on her own, one with severe autism who is 20, one who is 16 with type 1 diabetes, and one who just had heart surgery in December. She is such a great example to us, and as our coach and mentor, she gets things done when everyone else has excuses. She didn't start out that way, though. She started online back in 2013 because her husband was deported to Mexico, and she decided that it was high time to stop letting circumstances hold her and her family back financially. She'd seen others online making great money, following the gurus. She's done all the free training possible. But when she started to invest in mentors and coaching and take it to a bigger level, that's when everything changed for her. She learned to do the strategies that the 7-figure earners were doing under intense courses in small groups, and now she's teaching all of us. Her gifts are strategizing, implementing systems, and creating better ways to do things in her team and for others now in an agency. She made a whopping $2,500 in affiliate sales in 1 week after implementing some of our next guest strategies. So welcome, Sarah, the Calipreneur. How are you doing? And we have a special treat for you tonight. Yes, you didn't know it, did you? But we have our special guest, Jennifer Mendez. She is an amazing mom from Orlando, Florida, joining us tonight. She's a digital marketer, a team leader, and now a six-figure earner. It only took her 1 year to rise up to the top in her affiliate program. Her style is hardcore hustle. She makes it happen with no excuses. If your back is against the wall, then it's the best place to be, because it's when you take massive action, right? That's all I'm going to tell you tonight, because she'll come in and talk to us more in detail in just a few moments. But then, last but not least, there's myself, Tamara. I have been a stay-home mom for 23 years. I have 2 grown boys, and I've been working online for about 6 years now, with little to no success for quite a long time. It wasn't until I found this amazing business and some mentors that when things really started to change for me. And I finally found my passion, and that is to help others gain confidence and learn the techniques that it takes to scale up your business. I used to be very shy also, but I've learned to step out of my comfort zone and doing Facebook Lives and webinars. It's teaching me that growth can be both fun and exciting. So that's all about us for right now. I want to move to the next section here, and I'm going to hand it over to Sarah. She is going to get into our closing skills tonight. Take it away, Sarah.
Hey, everybody. This is Sarah Espinosa from San Diego, California. Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. And it's a pleasure for me to help you guys to get to the next level in your business. And so in order to do that, we're going to have to take a look at one of the most important processes, and that is the closing process. So I'm going to share my screen and show you here on what we have going. So let me get that ready for you. And do you guys see it right now?
Not yet.
No? Okay, wait. It's been a while since I've done a Google Hangout. I'm used to doing Zooms.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
That is a ticket, right? Now you see it. Right?
Yep.
All right, awesome. Okay, so this is themed the Facebook Marketers, the Closing War. And this is the Journey for Freedom team, and we are presenting for you tonight. So tonight, our vision and mission is to help you get an 80% yes decision to buy, bringing you more cash. And it's not this kind of cash. It's not Johnny Cash, okay? It's gonna be this kind of cash, the cash that we all need to have in order to make our businesses flow and keep going, right? So what is closing? Is it an art or is it a science, okay? Now, it is both. It's an art because it's something that you are going to be putting your own spin on. It's something that you're going to get perfect at. And as you go along, you're going to find something that is exactly the way that you want it to be. So you get your artistic points in there. But it's also a science because there is a real strategy and a method and a system to closing, okay? So what you need to do is you need to look at it in both ways, okay? So if you do certain things in a certain way, you're going to be a great closer. And what's really hard is when you talk to people and they say, hey, you know, I'm not in sales. I simply share my opportunity with others. But, you know, if you are exchanging money for a product or a service, it's sales, my friends, right? So this is a famous movie, and this is a famous line that you guys have all heard. Okay, so this movie is called The Art of Selling with Alec Baldwin. And he says, A, always, B, C, closing, always be closing. Okay, so he stresses in this clip that you need to make sure that you are always closing and making sales, or you don't have a job. And he said, top earner gets a car. The number 2 earner gets a bunch of steak knives, and the number 3 person will get fired. And that's how it is in the corporate world if you don't produce sales. But in the home business, it's good and it's bad because we can't get fired. But yet, if we don't make sales, we're not going to be able to survive. We're going to get frustrated, and we're going to quit way too early on our dreams. So it's super, super important. It is almost the most important thing to get the sales, to get the closes. You can get a bunch of leads. You can get leads galore, but if you don't know how to close them, then what is the point? Okay. So there are 5 pain points in the industry. Okay. The major 5 pain points is that when you start a home business, everybody is told to go get the 100 list of friends and family. Okay. And they go through their whole list of everybody they know. It's very embarrassing. It's very uncomfortable for everybody involved. And what happens is they're like, no, thank you. And then your relationship gets all weird. And then, you get used to being rejected, and it stinks, and then you might change businesses and they say the same thing. List of friends and family. So you go to the same friends and family and you bug them again, and it gets to be where they're totally avoiding you, So rejection is a huge problem in the industry, and you have to get over a fear of rejection because you've already started to learn it the wrong way. So another thing, if you can get past the fear of rejection, is now where do you go? Now who do you get the leads from? And this is where most of the people in the industry are teaching right now. They're teaching where to get your leads. And that's all good and fine. But like I said, if you get leads and you can't close on the leads, then you don't have a business, right? So that's what we're going to focus in on tonight, is closing leads. And once you learn how to close the leads, then you can have team duplication. So that's why we, as the Journey for Freedom team, decided that this is the most important thing to talk on tonight. And one more thing that we're going to let Jax talk about, as she is coming on tonight. She is going to be talking about it. And if not, then I'm going to be talking about it. But we have a secret thing that is super important and we can't miss it, but that's going to be at the end. So tonight, guys, we're going to crush the problem of closing the leads just like the Hulk crushes through this glass, but it's not going to be that painful. All right, so sales. Sales is to get your customer from point A to point B, right? It seems to be a simple process. They make it look very simple, but it's not as simple as it looks. It's something that needs to be studied and practiced. Like I said, it's a science and it's an art, and it's highly overlooked in our industry. And they always say, keep it simple, stupid. I don't like using that word, but they say, keep it simple, make it easy for them. And I do agree with that. I do agree that you need to make the process as easy as possible for your buyer, because if they get too many choices, they get confused, right? Just like at a restaurant, if they don't, for me, if I go into a restaurant and I see that everything on the menu looks good, then I'm going to get stuck in the frozen zone of what are my choices, and well, what do you recommend? And it's just kind of like people that don't know how to make choices, you need to keep it really, really simple for them. And I was just looking at something interesting. QVC, they have one product and they have one purchase price. And so it's just A to B, here's the shirt, here's the price. You want to get it? This is how you order. And they do a lot of business, right? They haven't shut down yet. So they got a really great system there, and it seems to be working. So we need to keep it simple. But what's happening in the industry is, do we need to build our skill, or do we need to build our confidence? When you think about it, it's both. It really is both, because there is so much in closing that comes from your posture, your confidence, and it's key to have that practice in order to build your confidence. But what you're going to learn here tonight is that you don't want to practice on real customers or people, because you could lose sales. And again, that fear of rejection, right? So there is a better way to practice these skills without looking silly, without feeling frustrated, without feeling that there's something wrong with you, that you're not doing something right. This is what Grant Cardone does with his team every single day, okay? And so we're going to learn exactly what that thing is, right? We need to put it to them in a way that's easy. So remember that you're not selling the product. You're selling what the solution is to their problem, okay? So people buy for two reasons. They either buy for pain or for pleasure. So what'll happen if they get it, and what'll happen if they don't get it, right? You need to help them see during your question process, what would happen, and they need to tell you what would happen. They need to declare it and realize it. And this is what's called closing themselves, okay? So once they start speaking out those things as you ask questions, then you're going to see that they're positioning themselves in for the close, okay? And we'll have a little description of how this actually happens. Another problem is with salespeople is that they are speaking too fast, okay? They're speaking too fast. They want to get to the close. They want to get to the part where pay me the money right now, right? They just want to get through it, and they want to get to the close before they even ask the questions. And this is not the way. You don't want to be doing it like this guy. You pay me more money now, and that's how a lot of people are doing it, is they're skipping the whole qualifying part, and they're not covering any of the objections ahead of time. And so they get rejected. They get rejected because they're doing it in the wrong way. And there's other people who don't even like to ask for the payment. They have a real block in their minds about asking for money. It might have come from when they were younger. It might have come from experiences or different, Grant Cardone talks about this. I'm big into Grant Cardone lately, if you haven't noticed. But Grant Cardone talks about this as these little sayings and these myths that go on that make us think that money is bad and asking for the sale is bad, where that's a complete myth, And you can see in other countries, right? In other countries, a barter system is very common, right? My husband's from Mexico, and he is always talking about how, Sarah, stay in the car. Stay in the car, because I'm going to barter these strawberries. I'm going to trade this for this. And if they see you, they're going to raise the price on me, and everything. Because, of course, I look like a visitor, So it's kind of funny how the barter system works great in other countries, and we don't have problems asking for the money in other countries. But yet in the United States, we're taught that you shouldn't talk about money for some reason. So that's a huge, huge problem. Okay, so what is your job exactly? What is your job as a salesperson? You see a lot of people talking about the sales funnel. You got that big, I guess I call it like an oil funnel, right? And it's got all these colors, and it talks about how your leads come in at the top, and then they funnel through to the bottom where they come out as sales. And it makes it look like it's this simple flowing thing, and it could happen that way if it's on automation. But when you are doing the kind of bringing a cold lead into a sale, right? And that's a lot of times what free strategies are, is you have to warm up the lead and you have to build rapport and all kinds of things like that. Building a sale is like building a house. So you bring them into the house, right? And you want to do your job of closing all escape routes. Basically, close the escape routes, and maybe they're going to go through, those emotional parts where they find the need for what you're talking about. They have the pain, and you're helping them, and you're getting sure that they're the ones that are going to be able to make the money-making decision. They're the decision maker is there, that they have enough money to qualify, that they have the mindset to qualify, that they're ready now, that they're not just playing around. I mean, there's several questions that you can ask, right? Asking questions is fine if you're a salesperson. You don't want to talk, but you want to ask questions and let them do the majority of the talking. Key questions is very important, and they help your lead stay where you want them to be in the sales process. So maybe you'll leave one thing open that they could possibly say at the end, right? And they might get out and you might get a no, but it's going to be very rare. If you do it the right way, your no's are going to be less and your yeses will be more. All right? So what happens is people get too excited. Salespeople get too excited. And we talked about this a little bit already, how they just want to land the plane. They found the lead, they got the marketing working, they started talking to them, and they want to rush through the sales process to land the plane, to get the sale, and the salespeople are emotional. And that's the wrong way. Salespeople need to be cool and calm. They need to slow down the process, slow down the talking. And as you can even see in the beginning of the conversation today, my talking was fast. I had a little bit of that nervous jitter in the beginning, everybody does, but you can slow down your talking. You can match the speed of the voice of the person that you're talking to. So if I'm talking to somebody from New York, they're going to talk a little bit faster. They're going to have a way that they talk, that's a little bit more energetic, Our special guest, Jennifer, used to be from New York. So when I talk to her, the energy is a lot higher because she used to talking faster, and I'm normally from Minnesota. So I live in San Diego now, but I grew up in the Midwest. So we talk like Canadians, basically. We talk slower and we really pronunciate everything, and the story just drags on and on. No, just kidding. Anyways, that's a different type of person. So when you're a salesperson, you need to match. You need to match the person that you're talking to, right? And it could be because salespeople drink a lot of coffee, they talk faster. No, I'm just kidding. But salespeople need to slow it down. If you crash your plane into the driveway, what's going to happen? Or the runway or whatever it's called. You're going to break the wheels off and it's going to burn. So you actually have to take your plane down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit, okay? And this is what we're going to talk about. A salesperson needs to know the product. They need to know how to listen for those special cues to make sure somebody's on board. And they need to know the sales process. And people aren't really teaching the sales process. They're just giving a script and they're saying, there you go, follow it. But there's actual skills that you need to do, okay? You need to teach and you need to learn. It's your job to help them see that you have the answer to their problem and you need to ask for the sale, okay? All right, so most salespeople are amateurs. They're used to picking the fruit that is the low-hanging fruit. So if a person gets a sale, let's say once a month, once a week, They have just enough encouragement to say, hey, this is working, right? But if they don't get their skills up, if they don't learn the sales process, if they don't learn all of the sales process, I mean, there's marketing skills, there's all kinds of things to increase and learn in your business. And if you don't keep learning, if you keep waiting for that low-hanging fruit to come, then you're going to be frustrated. You're not going to make your goals, and you're not going to be able to keep in business, right? You're not going to make enough to be able to fire your boss. Okay. So that is a huge, huge problem. Okay. So here's what you need to do. And you can go ahead and take a picture of this with your cell phone. Okay. You can go ahead and write these things down, but this is word for word, a 2-step pre-close that works really, really well. So after they've seen the presentation, you say this: based on everything we just went through, is it a winner? And you wait. Okay, you wait until they respond. Yes, no, I don't know. If you get a no, you know that you didn't do something right? If you get a I don't know, you know that there's still an objection, okay? And you need to find out if that objection is valid or if it's not valid, okay? Sometimes objections are just because people don't want to give up so easily. People don't want to be like, this is awesome, this is perfect. They don't want to, lay down like a fish. They want to at least make it a little bit challenging. So they just knee-jerk reaction, have an objection. And most amateurs will quit on one objection and they'll say, see ya, next one. But if you can actually learn how to overcome those 3 to 5 easy objections and practice it, key is practice it before you start talking to customers, then you're going to see that they were just one objection busting process away from saying yes. So let's say they say yes. Then you ask the second one, does it sound like the way you want to go? Wait. All right? You wait. The first person who talks loses. You ask them a question if it sounds like the way they want to go, and they need to say yes, no, maybe, or they're going to give their objection. Okay? So if you get 2 yeses, then you can go for the close. And the actual close is only 1 sentence. What credit card do you want to put it on? And you wait. And they'll say Visa, MasterCard, or they'll have an objection. So this is the part where we talked about it, where you need to sometimes ask questions, but after you ask a question, you need to wait. You need to wait, okay? It's really hard because you want to ask another question, but you have to wait, okay? So let me give you a real world example. My daughter, who's 19 and she's in the dating range right now, oh my goodness, but she has a few boys that are trying to ask her out on dates. And this one boy, he did a pre-close. I was like, wow, he's pretty smart. But he said, hey, Isabel, if I asked you out on a date, would you say yes? She's like, yes. And he goes, okay, that's cool. I was just wondering. And then he walked away. And she was like, what? Mom, what did he do? And I said, he pre-closed you. He was feeling a little bit embarrassed to really ask you. So he wanted to get a little bit of confidence that you might say yes. And then you're going to find him giving you the invite to the date. I have everything in my mind lately has been closing. And so I'm like, he pre-closed you and he's going to close you for the date really soon. Don't worry. But, and sometimes you have like women, I've heard of this. I mean, it's been a very, very long time. I've been married for over 20 years, but back in the dating scene or whatever, I would make the guy work for it a little bit. I would make him, I'd say no at first, but I really wanted him to ask me out, but I say no. and you just say no because you don't want to make it easy. You want to see if they have skills. Maybe the customers are doing that to you. Maybe they want to see if you have real skills because they want to see if you're a real leader because they want to join the leaders, right? Makes sense to me. All right, so now we're coming up to a real leader. And I'm so excited to have Jennifer Mendez on tonight. She is my very good friend, and she is a no-nonsense lady. I mean, I have really admire Jennifer for everything that she's done and everything that she's currently doing. And I know for a fact that she's going to go all the way in everything that she does, because the things that she talks about and the things that she's going to share with you are going to be some things that you're going to be like, wow, how come I quit so easy? How come I, let these things get in the way? If she can do it, I can do it. And, welcome so much to the call. And I just want you to see if you can share with people, where you came from. How did you get all this energy and confidence, and how and I'm saying that, as I'm looking at my wonderful coffee, I'm like, I'm so ready for some more coffee. But Jennifer, you can see that she's always on fire. She pushes herself so much, and it shows in all her results. You guys, she's going to share with you how much she's made in how short of a time. And also, Jennifer, if you could share one secret on your top method of closing. What is the surefire way? The surefire way, if you want.
You know what? I didn't prepare for this. You didn't tell me I had to give a secret, but I'm going to give you guys a secret. I started with almost about to cry, and then I moved into laughing, right? I'm cracking up here because obviously you didn't tell me this stuff. But okay, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me here on the panel. It's a true honor to be here and share with you guys a little bit of my story, my background, and what we have been able to do following these strategies that Sarah went over with you guys tonight. So like Sarah said, and my panelists said that I am from New York, so that's why I'm always hyper excited. I got this ball of energy. My hubby says all the time, I wish we could just sell your energy in a bottle. Can we just sell that in a bottle? I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I wake up like this. This is how I am. This is my personality. And I think it was because I was raised in New York, and in New York, you have to be fast. You have to be on point. You got to hurry up and get things done. If you don't move fast, you pretty much get left behind. So that's kind of where I grew up. I grew up in the hood, in the Bronx, where I had to protect myself, protect my family. So it was we had to be on our P's and Q's 24/7. Okay, I didn't come from a rich home. I came from a very poor home. My mom barely got by. One thing that she always told us, because she was pretty much brainwashed by society, was that I needed to go to school, right, so that I could be able to get these awesome jobs and just work my way up the corporate ladder. And that was to just get our family ahead, because she wasn't able to go to school. She didn't finish school. We were, again, in poverty. And she wanted the best for me. So obviously she didn't know any better. She didn't know the whole internet world existed at that time. But I did that. That's kind of my background. Went to school. I went all the way for my master's in business administration. I was a single mom when I moved down here to Florida. I've been in Florida 4 years now. And I actually was working in a really good job. It was kind of like my dream job when I got here. And I was like, man, that's awesome. I landed a job as soon as I got here. I was already with 3 kids, but I was a single mom, and I got laid off of my corporate 9-to-5 job 3 weeks before Christmas back in 2014. And that is where my whole life kind of pretty much turned around. I was already, going through some depression, being single and living in a brand new state by myself. So that was one thing. And then now I get laid off from a job right before Christmas. I have 3 kids. I'm thinking how I'm going to pay the bills with no family members, no support, and no job, right? So that whole incident led me to get closer to God and really find out that you know, he was always there no matter what, right? So I started going to church, and in this church, I met this young lady that told me about this opportunity where I can make money online and be able to work from home. And I'm like, what? Like, you can make money from home? Like, I didn't even know you could do that. So she told me this thing called network marketing, which, you know, you pretty much could do from anywhere, from your home, from, you know, you could do parties, you could do, you know, hotel receptions. I mean, I've done it all. So I got involved in the whole online space through network marketing. So I did network marketing for about 3 years. I never had to go to work ever again, which was a blessing. I was able to stay home with my kids those 3 years. And then 3 years later, because I didn't know marketing, like I didn't know real marketing, I was really going, I had pretty much reached 2 ranks away from the top of the company. So I went into leadership status within 3 months of joining the business. But honestly, guys, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. What got me to the ranks that got me was my excitement, my passion, my ambition, my there was nothing going to stop me from doing what I had to do, because at that moment it was like, if I didn't do this, my kids were not going to eat. So I was in a state where I had to just figure it out. So I think that back then, like, my ambition and my drive was what got me to where I got in those 3 years. So then 3 years later, I find myself stuck at a plateau, and then my income started dropping. People started dropping off my team, and I had ran out of like people to talk to. Like, all my friends and family, I had already harassed them. They had already bought enough products from me and everything that I could possibly sold. Like, all my friends and family just were like, all right, Jennifer, we're not gonna buy anything else. So I didn't know how to build funnels. I didn't know about target marketing. I didn't know about becoming the attractor factor. I didn't know none of these things, and my business started falling apart. So during that time, I'm kind of trying to put it all in a faster nutshell here. During that time was when I met Jose. He was actually part of the same network marketing company, and he owned the business in New York. So we actually met online, and then he flew down here to meet me in person, and we fell in love. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So we fell in love, and he sold his business, moved down to Florida, and we were like on this mission to like build this network marketing business that we thought was going to be like, you know, the thing that was going to take us to the top, and we're going to become millionaires. And soon after he moved down here, about, I would say like 3 months in, I went from making about $8,000 a month to like $500 a month, like drastically in like 3 months span. So we went from like living the life, freedom, right, to like almost not being able to pay the bills. Okay, so he had savings because of, he sold the barbershop, so he came down here with savings. He had a business up there, and those savings depleted very quickly while we were still trying to figure out what to do next, like how we were gonna, you know, get more leads, how we're gonna make more sales, and where we were going to find the people. So during that time, my best friend had found a mentor and a coach and told us about this program that Sarah's going to talk to you about. And I thought it was another network marketing company. I was so brainwashed. I was like, oh no, I don't want to hear it. Like, I really didn't want to hear nothing. I didn't want no help. I was so close-minded back then. But Jose, on the other hand, he has done business for a very, very long time, like offline business. And he always used to tell me there has to be a better way to market. There has to be a better way to get leads. There has to be more. There's something that we're missing. And let's just give this a try, like this program, this mentorship program. And I'm like, listen, we don't even have money for that right now. Like, what do you mean? Like, we are about to be evicted. Like, we got backed up in rent, and we even had an eviction notice, guys. Like, it was crazy. It was so bad. And he was like, I'm going to borrow the money. And I was like, what do you mean borrow the money? I was mad at him for doing that. But now I thank him so much, because if it wasn't for him taking action, if it wasn't for him just saying, hey, we're going to borrow the money, we wouldn't be where we are today, hands down. So Jose borrowed the money. We got into this program. We got the coaching. We didn't sleep for like 3 days, just soaking in all the information, watching all the training videos, taking as much notes as we could, and applying. We started applying everything right away. So if you want to hear my tip on how to close more people, be coachable and get yourself a mentor. Honestly, that's my tip of like, you know, making money right away and taking action. Within 24 hours of us like watching all the trainings and doing everything that we said we were going to do, we made our first $1,000 online with one sale. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it, you know, like I couldn't believe it. I was like, this must be just luck. You know, I just got lucky. You know, we just made $1,000 off of a stranger. Like, not to add just the $1,000, but off of a stranger, like somebody we didn't know. Like, I didn't have to like beg my friends and family to try to get into another business or something like that. And, you know, it just skyrocketed after that. You know, if I could fast forward, that was almost 2 years ago, guys. It was exactly, you know, a year and about 10 months that we've been doing this. So almost 2 years. We've now generated well over 6 figures. In the last 12 months, we generated over $100,000 in profit without spending money in ads. Like, we haven't even spent money in ads for our own business. It's crazy. We haven't even done that yet. And, you know, we went from one business that was pretty much almost failing to now we have 3 businesses. We are invested into cryptocurrency. You know, we've learned so much stuff because we've connected with the right people, with the right mentors that have guided us along the way. And it's all about connecting with the right people and letting people show you, and then you being coachable. And we just took action. You know, that's just been my secret. Like, I just have no excuses. I know I have a family to feed. You know, Jose came along with 3 kids. So I have 3 kids. He has 3 kids. 5 kids live in our house now. We have custody of 2 of his little ones. And it's like, we have no other option, because if we don't make this happen, if we don't do what we're supposed to do, like, our family is just going to sink, right? So that's what's happened. And we recently just launched our digital agency, which Sarah is a part of our team, where we actually do social media advertisement for other businesses. And it all started because of this program, because we were coachable and we got the right guidance and the right mentorship. And that's what we want for you. If you're watching this call, you know, there's no coincidence that you are here watching this. Everything happens for a reason. So take action. Finish listening to what Sarah has to say. Write down some notes and message the person that invited you to this call, because I will tell you right now, if you take action and if you don't look back and you say, let me give this a try, whether you're in real estate, if you in network marketing, I mean, these strategies you can apply to any business. So it's not like it's just online. These same strategies, we help small business owners offline do the same exact thing. So thank you, Sarah, for having me here and having me, you know, being able to share my story. And, you know, we went from pretty much almost homeless to now, you know, not having to worry about money ever again. So that's a little bit of in a nutshell, my story. Thank you for having me here.
Priceless. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
You too. That is so inspiring. I mean, seriously, like, I have been wanting to do an interview with you since day 1 of hearing about your story. So today is the lucky day. I am so excited. So you guys, this can happen for you too. Okay, so we need to continue down the path that you're starting on. We need to keep going in the same way, but with better skills and with more education, with more practice, and with the right mentorship, right? So it is looking up for you, okay? So this can happen for you too. So do not worry at all. We've got you, okay? So let's talk about, let me get it to the current slide. Cha-ching. Okay. This is the worst thing that could happen to you, is if you do not have a marketing budget, if you don't have any budget for events, any upgrades that you can possibly do, overhead costs, if you can't pay for anything to keep your business going, this is the worst thing that could happen to you, okay? You've got to be able to have your way to keep afloat, right? If you want to fire your boss, if you're like Jennifer and like me, where there is no other alternative, there is no way that we would be able to do, you know, work 2 or 3 jobs to take care of expensive rent in San Diego and in Florida. There's absolutely no other way that we could do it if it weren't for the online skills, okay? So when you have your back against a wall, when you see that you don't have a marketing budget, when you see that you don't have a budget to go to your own team events, you can't upgrade, you can't get into a multiple stream, then you need to turn it around. You need to do something different, because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be scrounging, and you're going to have to do the alternative, which, you know, my millionaire mentor, he said, you know, either you're coachable or you're going to be like this, right? You're going to be scrounging, bankrupt, and that's not where you want to be, guys. So the problem in this industry is that nobody is learning the right strategies, okay? So what they do is they invest into their primary business with their own savings account, with their own money into their primary business. And that's usually all that they have, because you don't have a lot when you're starting a new business, right? And so they put it all in there. And then they are told, learn the free strategies. And it's going to take you 2 to 4 years to learn the free strategies. So either you're working a full-time job and then coming home and doing it part-time, or you need to do something different, because it's taking people way too long to get into profit, to get into sales, and to learn these free strategies without a mentor. You know, if some people make money, they reinvest it, then great. But if you don't, which is what the majority happens to people, is the businesses close down. They go back to work, they give up on their dreams, and it's just a sad situation, because it can be a totally different setup for you. So what we teach is the 7-figure strategy, okay? This is the strategy that was taught to me, was taught to Jennifer, was taught to everybody on my team, that with the company that we have, you can get paid $1,000 daily commissions to your PayPal every single day. You work today, you get a sale today, you get paid today. You don't have to wait for a month to get it. You don't have to wait for anything else to happen, or go weeks and weeks without it. You get the money right off the bat. So this is called a front end sale. It's usually something else that you have on the front end. Excuse me, something else that you have on the front end that you're able to sell, and that money isn't coming out of your pocket anymore, right? Now it's money that you've generated from an affiliate sale, okay? And this then goes to get into the high ticket, to put ad campaign out there for your primary business, right? So now you're not funding your high ticket. This affiliate commission is funding your high ticket. This affiliate commission, this $1,000, is funding your ad campaign. So you're not risking anything of your personal money, okay? I worked personally with someone on my team who was over $180,000 in debt, okay? Because she paid for her high ticket done for you system, you know, ahead of time. And then she had to go ahead and keep buying traffic. And so she went more and more and more and more in debt, okay, until she found our system, where now she got out of the hole within a year and she made over $100,000, okay? So it's not hard to make $100,000 if you have $1,000 that's coming into you whenever you work, okay? So you can then put it into multiple streams of income, just like Jennifer has with Bitcoin and getting into an agency and all these other things that she's been wanting to do. She's able to fund it now because she has this front end sale machine working for her, okay? Other people use this to rise to the top of their leaderboards in their MLM. So we are not kidding around when we say that this is for any business. If you want to learn this to run traffic for your primary business, to get to the front end, to get to the top of the leaderboards, then you can definitely do that. The sky is the limit. Whatever you want to do, you can do if you have that income coming in, right? So what kind of affiliate program would work and hit everybody in the industry? Well, we know that everybody in the industry needs personal development and leadership. We know that everybody in the industry needs marketing strategies, right? So with those 2 areas, you would be able to hit all the mass market in any industry. So this is the product that we have, the Genesis Education Library, okay? This library has it all. It has your marketing, it has your leadership, it has your, it has the testimonies from all the people that have made over $1 million. It's got email sequences, it's got, you know, how to get $1 million within a year. There's just so many different products inside the Genesis Educational Library. And if you want to know more about it, then you can get back to the person that has brought you here and they can show you some of those details. But there's so much in here that I couldn't put it all in. But it is an amazing library. So once you purchase this, you can resell this. This is something that is an affiliate sale, okay? And there are 4 ways to get involved in this business, okay? There's the G100 that costs $100. There's a G250 that costs $250. The G500 is an investment of $500, and the G1000 is an investment of $1,000. But about 90 to 99% of the people choose the G1000 because it's a no-brainer, okay? It's a no-brainer because what happens is you get to have your, whoops, one second. You get to have the sales from, you get paid first, okay? So what happens is you get the sale. Sorry, I just got interrupted by one of my kids. It made me repeat what I was saying. You get to have the sale from the first person that you get, and the second one gets passed up to your sponsor, okay? And that person is like, you have just enrolled them yourself. And so that whole line gets passed up to you. So it's actually infinity that works for you. So if you enroll in anything under 1,000, the bad part about it is, let's say you enroll a G100 person. And this actually happened to me one of the very few times that I've had a G100 person sign up. They got 2 G1000 sales. And so they had gotten their investment back. They got the 100, but the $900, they had to pass it up to me. And it was unfortunate because, you know, they were advised to go in under the G1000. Right? And so you get the chance to upgrade, but you don't want to ever leave any money on the table. I always, Yennefer, Tamara, we always invest at the highest level. So that way we position ourselves for the biggest income. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me to have, you know, work the same amount, but get paid $900 less, you know. And easily you can do 10 sales and make $10,000 a month, okay? So what can you do today? You can purchase the reseller rights for the products that you wish to market. So the G100 is a one-time payment of $100 and then $40 per year for the reseller rights, okay? And the G250 is a one-time purchase of $250 for the products, the Genesis Library products in that level, and a $100 per year reseller rights. The G500, $500 product purchase, and a $200 per year reseller rights. The G1000 is a one-time $1,000 product purchase and $299 per year for the reseller rights. Okay, and like I said, 90 to 99% of the people are in the G1000 category. So step 2 is decide what commissions that you want to earn, basically, and purchase that level of product and the reseller rights. Okay, the higher packages include all the lower product levels underneath. Okay, so you're going to get the library for $500, $250, and $100 if you purchase the G1000, okay? So today you can start for $1,300, okay? The bonuses that we have are worth $10,000. We're gonna give you a Super Sunday that is 3 hours complete strategy session coaching with you, and this is only for the G1000 people. So if you sign up on the other levels, then there is training that comes in the back office, of course, but it's not the 3 hours strategy session with me, okay? And also for the G1000 people only, we're going to give you 30 days of role playing, okay? We talked about this earlier, how Grant Cardone has his team every single day before they go to work. They have role playing, okay? And so I am giving you this as a bonus, a special bonus. I don't think anybody in the industry is giving away this bonus. But if Grant Cardone is doing it and he says it is the only reason that they are making the money that they're making today is this role playing, then I want to do what Grant does, right? I want my team to get that practice in before they go to the customers and talk to people. I don't want you putting money or wasting money or losing money or leaving money on the table, whatever you want to call it. I don't want you to be practicing live. I want you to be able to practice every day for 30 minutes with me and with other people. We're only going to be taking 20 people, okay? And the Super Sunday is going to be held on July 8th. So you have until July 8th to go ahead and start at the $1,300 level. You can start today, and the last chance you can start is July 8th, okay? And the third bonus I have for you is 4 30-minute coaching sessions with me, okay? That's 4 times in the same month that we are going to strategize together, you and I, okay? I'm not giving this away for anybody that signs up under the 100, the 250, or the $500 level. I'm only giving this away to the G1000 people who are serious and they're coachable, okay, guys? So this is your shot. This is your opportunity. And I want you to take it all the way, okay? Just like I did, just like Jennifer did. You know, you can't just leave your skills to chance. You can't just say, I give up and it's not working for me. It can work for anybody if you go through the skills and do your best, right? We all have things that we need to work on. We are not born out of the gate knowing how to do any of this stuff, right? We learn it and we practice it, and repetition helps us. And so if you are sitting on the fence right now and you're thinking, I wonder if I should do it. Well, what happens if you don't do it? What happens if you don't do it? That's what I always ask myself. You know, what are the things that you are going to be able to do if you do this today? And what are the things that you're going to have to say no to if you don't do it today, right? So the choice is very easy for me. And I know that you are on here because you're the same as me. You're ready to do something different. You're in a transition. You are at a point in your life where you're just like, I'm going to do it now because I don't know when my job is going to leave me. I don't know when they're going to fire me. You know, nothing is sure unless you are the owner of your own business, right? So this is the way to go, guys. This is the 7-figure strategy with all these bonuses. It's going to be crazy awesome in the next 30 days. So I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside. Go ahead and click the button below to start and get back to the person who brought you here. Have a good night.